that motion. I call upon the Prime Minister. Take care.
Mr. Speaker, so associating gay men and to attractiveness is not a true acceptance as a form of love, Mr. Speaker, right? It seems that people are accepting gay people because they are attractive and they have positive image. However, Mr. Speaker, is not true acceptance. Moreover, Mr. Speaker, we shouldn't sacrifice unattractive men for the whole movement. Why is that so? Because gay love movement is on a stage that respects individual type of gay men, different type of gay men, right? That you encounter in your daily lives, right? So that's why we propose this motion. So in my speech, first of all, I'd like to define today's motion, and second of all, I'd like to explain three things. So first of all, what gay rights movement in today's paradigm, today's situation should seek for. We believe gay rights movement should seek for supporting various types of gay people who you encounter in your daily lives. Second of all, I'd like to explain how under the status quo, because of this emerging stereotype, how unattractive gay people are suffering. And third of all, I'd like to explain how after taking this motion, by campaign, we can improve the situation better to let people understand individual type of gay people and true acceptance as a form of love. So first of all, the model. So when we say campaign, we do anything that go against this stereotype. So, for example, we do campaign that employs, for example, a little bit ugly comedian instead of handsome actor to talk about their experience of love, for example, right? So we still continue to use attractive men, however, we still also use unattractive men as a representative of gay people, right? So, that's a simple model. So first of all, let me explain what gay rights movement in today's society should seek for. So Mr. Speaker, in today's society, the social acceptance toward gay people have been increasing and increasing. Why is that so? Because we have seen that policy has changed to, for example, to accept gay marriage or gay adoption, right? So a lot of people recognize the existence of gay rights, and a lot of people have acceptance and recognize the importance of gay rights, right? So in such society, gay rights movement should seek to respect individual difference of group rather than promotion of whole group. So it is. So we have an analogy here. So for example, feminist movement wants to seek for the promotion of whole group by ignoring the choice of people who really wanted to work as housewives and say working mother is the best choice for the women. However, Mr. Speaker, in today's society, because women's right to work and women's promotion are improved more and more, feminist movement in the stage that respect individuals' choice of women, right? So in current situation, feminist movement also respect the choice of women who want to be housewives and who want to work in the society. So it is applicable in today's debate because gay rights movement has on the stage that has improved the promotion of whole group to some extent. We have to focus on how to make people treat gay people, individual gay people better, right? So what is important for today's gay rights movement is that how you treat individual gay people in daily life. So in current situation, there are problems in individual gay people. So for example, when you encounter gay people, so even though you recognize gay life is somewhat important, however, some people, when they encounter gay people are having, those people will think that, oh, gay people are having, right? So they see them as deviant still, right? So in such occasions, and actually this is caused by these stereotypes, and I like to explain in my second argument. So first of all, how stereotype harms unattractive gay people. So Mr. Speaker, other people outside of gay community are not really strong or passionate supporter of gay rights movement. Those people think gay people are always sexually attractive, right? So, however, it is really harmful for unattractive gay people. Why is that so? Because those people have started to accept gay people by associating them as attractiveness, which is social common good. Not right now. So, those people have overcome their unacceptance of gay people with this compromise their unacceptance with this social good, which is attractiveness. Not right now. So they have started to accept gay people because they are handsome, they are beautiful, right? So they accept people as well because they are beautiful or because they are handsome, right? So they didn't really accept gay people as a form of love or in the daily lives, right? So okay.
So
yes.
when you tell us that this stereotype is the only form these people are accepting these gay people, when you oppose this narrative in itself, how will people support gay rights in your paradigm?
Okay, I like to explain my third argument. So those people didn't. So when they encounter unattractive people, they think them as deviant. So in the sport, if unattractive gay people are hanging together, they will think they're so disgusting because they are not handsome. And it is not why I'm supporting gay people. So how it is better in our paradigm? We will use a campaign that employ unattractive gay people and let them talk about gay men are not always this handsome. Instead, we will let people talk about how they love men and let them talk about how I love men is same as how you love women, right? So this is we will more emphasize the narrative that I love men, that I love men is the same form of love that you love women. The target of love is just different, right? And also we want to also emphasize that there are lots of types of gay people, right? So when you encounter this type of gay people in your daily life, you should accept it because it is the same as what you believe. So we rather encourage people to associate gay people as a form of love. That's what we want to promote. Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister. That's all on the problem. Take care.
All positions are very proud to say that narrative is not a stereotype. We say stereotypes are not narrative because we have various types of stereotypes in the side of the house. We say that stereotype is existing is equal to the number of the people. It is individual idea to the gay people. We're very happy to have various types of stereotype in order to achieve their goal of accepting individual gay people as a personality. We're very happy to reject the motion. Two things that I'm going to go over. First, I'm going to talk about the analysis of stereotype and what is a stereotype, what is a narrative, and how this particular stereotype is contributing to the acceptance of the individual gay people. Second, we're going to talk about the role of the gay rights movement and what kind of action they should take. And before that, our reputation and clarification. Two things. Firstly, we say that their characterization is not not realistic. We say it is not dominant market. We are very happy to concede that this is the emerging stereotype, but it is not dominating. We say that we are seeing on TV or on the street or on magazine various types of gay people. Sometimes they are mash, and sometimes they are like feminine, sometimes they are nerdy, sometimes they have the higher voices, sometimes they have the lower voices, sometimes they look like how to say, the professional boxer. That's something that we have, and we say we are accepting those kind of information, especially when you are accepting those kind of LGBT people, or gay people you're talking about. And that is not realistic, no one is buying it. And secondly, even if you're talking about, let's take our guess, that is, that's what the straight thing, and they are talking about, even if they are talking about that's the dominant narrative, then they have to show us why upholding those kind of information as something that is positive, to a positive acceptance, to that has changed the deviant, that has changed the concept that gay people are all deviant, is going to be solved in the side of the house. Because if you are talking about that context, then you're going to set that situation back to 1970s or 60s, and that's harmful. So, first, about the analysis of stereotype. On the other hand, because the context that we are seeing is that this emerging stereotype that we're talking about is, for example, existing in Instagram. It's like a drag queen, but it's not it is not pretending to be female. They are beautiful as a male. We are talking about the gay people who are very proud to say that I'm beautiful as a male, and I'm much, but at the same time beautiful. I'm very happy to use the cosmetic as something to attract other people. And the background of this movement is some celebrities are influential, they're doing that, and many people are going to sympathize with them or resonance with them that they are cool. That's the context that we're talking about. And on this context, it is not so binding, that those kind of stereotype is not so binding, because we're talking about a stereotype that is of one idea in existing one each individual. Where I had the stereotype, or if I hear the word gay, then I'm going to think of one or two or three types of gay people, and that's the stereotype we're talking about. That's not the dominant narrative. We don't have a stereotype existing in the straight people and also the gay community, but that's not binding, that's emerging, but that's not dominant. We have feminine type of stereotype, we have extremely male type of stereotype, and gay people are able to choose from those kind of choose from what they want to be, and thus accepted in the gay community, and also that accepted in the community outside the gay society. That's something that we have achieved through making those kind of stereotypes. So it is not so binding. That is the first concept. Secondly, it is beneficial. Why?
Okay. So even if stereotypes is not a dominant narrative, stereotypes fix people into some category and reject whoever don't fit in this stereotype, and those people are suffering. How would you respond to that?
That is not happening under consciousness. I've already told you that you have the burden to prove why that kind of why removing that is going to be beneficial.
Okay.
So why is it beneficial? Because under your paradigm and in the past, the dominant narrative was if you are born into your world, then the gay people are dominant, deviant, a guy or not confident or weird or awkward. We say we have achieved by making this kind of various types of acceptance movement. We have achieved that kind of acceptance movement. We have achieved gay marriage legalization, or we have achieved a lot of legal and also social achievement of those kind of gay people. The conclusion of this argument is simple: that those kind of existence of those kind of stereotypes is not harmful but beneficial concept for acceptance of individual gay personality. Moving on to the second substantive about the role of gay people. Because the role of gay right movement. Gay right movement is existing, and what gay right movement is saying that is very important is proud movement. We can call that as a proud movement. Because, and that's why the gay right movement should support the way you are, support the gay people as individually as you are, and the goal of the display is the same. Because we are going to create we should create the atmosphere that the gay people are freely come out if they want that, and if they are freely able to say that I'm gay and I'm proud of that. That's something that we want to support. Why is it important? Why the gay movement is the only actor who can achieve that, and why is it important? It's because they are because it is existing in order to let them know that each individual gay people know that you are not alone. You are like your sexual orientation is also accepted and feel that they are considered as someone who are accepted in the society. That's the role that we have under organization. That's why we say that the more the voice, the better. We say the bigger the voice of those kind of gay movement, the better. Such, having that, what kind of harm are we talking about, like, is role in this, in taking the motion? Second, two types of harm. Well, A, that opposing those kind of stereotypes is going to harm people who have those kind of stereotypes, and especially who are proud of being sexually attractive as a gay person. You who are the one making those kind of stereotypes are harmful for the whole gay community. It's meaning that you are going to be rejected by the very community that you are particular with, and you are like the very community that you thought you are accepted in the first place. Thus, this is going to be harmful for those who are proud of being creating those kind of stereotypes. But secondly, this is going to speed or mitigation of whole gay right movement, because it is going to give the excuse for those kind of anti-gay movement saying that hey, gay people are also saying that gay people are not sexually attractive, not someone who are cool, not someone who are awesome, and that's something that is going to be the excuse for anti-gay movement. Right, we're very happy to reject the motion in order to achieve their goal of acceptance of individual gay person and the personality. Very happy to reject it.
Thank you, Chairperson. We believe that getting attention is not always the perfect answer for the gay rights movement, right? Because we believe as time goes on and the society actually changes, we have to fit and actually, adapt to those kinds of changes, and we have to change the priorities that we actually do. And we believe now is the time to not get attention, but to actually to be more inclusive to the whole gays, because with these kind of strong narratives that saying that homosexual men are sexually attractive, they're super handsome, gay are super handsome, is that we're going to categorize those kinds of certain people. It's going to be harmful not only to those kinds of individuals who feel that they're not sexually attractive, but for the whole movement itself, we believe it's going to be counterproductive. That's why we're very happy to oppose. 2 points I want to look at. Firstly, so as a gay rights movement, what should we actually prioritize in the movements considering the actual contextualization, right? Because in order to be more efficient, more efficient, we believe as a movement, we must examine the changing society to we actually fit it the most to be more efficiently, which we believe the opposition side is missing. Secondly, I want to look at how in our paradigm, without the stereotype that homosexual men are sexually attractive, it is much more better for all kinds of gays, and how it's going to be good as a movement itself. Before that, review to the previous speaker. So the previous speaker, we believe the opposition side completely missing the point of these kinds of stereotypes. Firstly, it was never explained, but we believe this misunderstanding, right? We believe these kinds of emerging stereotypes are created from famous Hollywood stars, for example Matt Bomer, or those kinds of Hollywood celebrities actually coming out who are very handsome or very macho, muscular, right? Those kind of people, because they opt out, people blindly believe that all gay people are super cool. So we believe those kinds of stereotypes we're talking about, and that's very harmful. We believe the opposition side basically is missing the point of these kinds of what is the stereotype we're talking about today. Moreover, the previous speaker told us that if we oppose to these kinds of certain stereotypes, we're going to reject them. We believe this is not true. Why is this? Because in our paradigm, what we're going to do is that actually we're going against this stereotype that all gays are sexually attractive, and we're going to say that all gays, are not some are gay, some are sexually attractive, but some are not attractive. We believe there are many kinds of gays. that's the message we want to stay in the society, that there are all kinds of gays, whether or not you're handsome or not. We want to be more inclusive, so we believe we're not going to reject a certain type of gay in our paradigm. We believe that is not true. Moving on to my first point. So as a gay rights movement, what should we prioritize, right? We believe under the status quo, to some extent, the existence of the gay rights movement is already being, achieved, right? Like, for example, in the U.S., already, like, the gay rights movement is already, the law was passed in, like, gay marriage is already approved. In that extent, we believe getting attention, like getting recognition from the society, is not the number one priority for those kinds of societies. Not yet. We believe those kinds of gay rights movements should be moving towards a new goal, which should be inclusive to like all kinds of gay people, regardless of like how regardless of what handsome or not. Then, like Julius told you that in his EOI, that like won't we lose attention? Like won't we like lose like those kinds of attraction or those kinds of recognition from the society, right? But first, two points to this POI. So firstly, we believe it's their burden to show like how much attention we're going to lose. We're actually going against these kinds of stereotypes that homosexual men are all handsome, right? We believe that was never explained from Italian, and we believe that was never proved, and that's never been proved. And even if that is true, even if that is was proven, we believe that's not going to be true, because as I said in my reviews, like we're going to be inclusive for all those kinds of people. Still, some gay people are going to be handsome, but we believe we're sending a message that still some gay are not, right? We believe we're going to be more exclusive, meaning that we're still not going to lose attention. We're still going to have Hollywood stars outing out that I'm gay for those kind of things. We believe to some extent we can still have these kinds of attentions. Moreover, we can be more inclusive. That's going to be better. As a gay rights movement, we should be prioritizing this before I move on. Yes.
Your Prime Minister said gay people are not accepted gay people are only accepted when they're handsome. But on the same breath, you say the context of where gay rights are being accepted amongst the people. Which should we believe?
Okay, so we believe of course there are some people who only accept from these kind of sexually handsome people, gay, right? But we believe we're not just saying that all gays, we still are having those kinds of people in our paradigm, meaning so we can get attraction from those kinds of people who only have attention from those kinds of sexually attractive gays. But also we can actually get more support, which I'm going to explain next. So second point, thank you. So how in our paradigm, without the stereotype, homosexually men with these kinds of all gay people are handsome, it's going to be much better for all kinds of gays and how it is good for the movement itself, right? So after we take this plan, go against these kinds of stereotypes, we believe that we can be inclusive for all types of gay. Why is this? Because under the status quo, there's a strong emerging stereotype of gay men are all muscular or all handsome, right? In those cases, because you see Hollywood celebrities outing out, and we can see Matt Bomer or those kinds of people actually opting out, and they're very cool, right? So people blindly believe that if he is so cool, I want to support gay rights movement, right? We believe this is harmful for two reasons, right? Because firstly, for non-sexual attractive men, they can't get understanding from the other people, right? From their friends or their classmates, because if I'm not handsome, but I'm still gay, I'm not going to accept it because they blindly believe. We believe that's harmful for them because they're going to be excluded from that community. Moreover, we believe that those kinds of gay people themselves, it's hard for them to actually out, right? They can't say I'm gay because I might be criticized because I'm not cool as that Hollywood star. We believe this is very harmful for those kinds of people. Rather, in our paradigm, we believe we can be more inclusive because, of course, we're not going to have people actually excluding those kinds of people because they're not cool, because we're going to send a message that gay people come in many kinds of ways. We believe in those kinds of situations, our paradigm is much more better for those kinds of gay people and as a movement. That's why we're very happy to propose.
Prime Minister, took all on that here.
Till this point, government side has failed to provide us with a scenario. How, when they oppose this kind of thing, they can generate support? They claim they can generate support, but they never told you that specific scenario. I'm going to tell you from deputy legal officer that things are not going to work in the way that government side wants to. 2 points of standard in that concern. How, when the gay rights movement opposes to an identity within themselves, the society is no longer going to accept them, and acceptance or those kind of values they want to provide in the society does not happen. Second standard, why in the current paradigm, or why in opposition side, those kind of acceptance is generated via these kind of emerging stereotypes. Those are the 2 substantives I want to provide you in my speech. But before moving on to my substantives, many interpretations to their side. So first, there's this confusing issue of stereotype existing. We see this is a very important point in this debate, because a stereotype is not synonymous with a narrative which binds others. And we gave you analysis, I'm going to give you more depth analysis on that point. Because a stereotype is ultimately the idea an individual has within their own mind. When it gets, how it becomes binding is when it becomes shared amongst others, or if it's the only choice existing. Because if it's a common major stereotype among every individual in the society, then these people will have a collective force to force these individuals. And if this was the only choice that these people had in their mind, that would be the only choice. And that thus becomes the narrative. But we don't think that's what the status quo is. Because if you look at the notion, and if you look at the reality, these are still emerging stereotypes. And there are many other stereotypes within people's minds, and there are many other roles for these people's minds to opt into other kind of narratives. That's why even if there's that one comedian or that one talent they said existing in society, there are a whole plethora of other comedians or current already existing gay actors or gay people who these other kind of people can support it. So ultimately, even when in one individual mind there might be only one image, there's still a whole plethora of images in society, and we never saw a reason why that is going to be binding these people. So ultimately, their point that this thing is binding people does not stand. Then they talked about there's a fine line between the people, and they're not going to reject these people within this movement. So thank you. But I want to ask them, how? Because with their soft stand, they're not actually opposing that stereotype existing. They're just putting another image on TV. I want to question them, if you're saying that stereotype is so dominant, how putting another comedian on a TV, who's probably not going to be accepted, because they never told us an answer to our question, how will those people who are already not being accepted right now can influence those kind of things? They never told us the scenario. And even if we were to take for their best case scenario, which is going to strongly go against these kind of stereotypes, we don't think those kind of things, the fine line then people will be drawn. Because it's very hard to distinguish this line, and when the gay movement is actively opposing to these kind of people, we don't think people are going to make that fine distinction. It's rather more likely that these kind of stereotypes, or these kind of people represented by these kind of stereotypes, will be attacked, and these people will be harmed. So those will be the point of interpretation, and now moving on to the substantives. The microscopic analysis of how people are going to be acting in their ways. Because this point is crucial for government side to provide us, but they have failed to provide in this debate. How are they actually going to generate support to these people? I have asked them from their Prime Minister, but they never answered to this question. And we don't think it's actually answerable, considering many things happening right now. Considering what happened in their side when they actively try to eliminate that narrative, and we actively have comedians on TV oppose those kind of things, and try to go against those kind of things. What happened? First, with people who the first analysis, people who are currently against these kind of gay rights, how will these people react? 2 elements. First, that now they get the narrative, or that now they get the legitimization, or now they get the way of saying that, look, the gay rights movement is something against these kind of positive changes. These people are attracting these kind of handsome people, and they are that community. They are opposing to the gay rights. Why do we have to support them? That generates distrust of these kind of people. And then it also enforces these ideas within themselves that gay people are something inherently bad. To go against the norms existing, gay people don't want to be handsome. This is what happened, for example, in the past, feminists went quite radical, and when they went not shaving their armpits, this was the image which people who were against the feminist movement had, and generated this support against those kind of people. So the conclusion of this analysis, no thank you, is that they actually generate distrust to the very echo chamber in which they want to reach out. Second point, what happens to people who are currently supporting the gay rights movement? We still believe that these people are going to distance themselves from the gay rights movement when they start opposing these kind of stereotypes. Why does this happen? Because what they support in this paradigm are these kind of emerging, some people support these kind of emerging figurative or emerging stereotypes within the gay rights movement. But what the gay rights movement is going to say, no, that view is not right. Your view of gay is something incorrect and we should not support this kind of thing. Because this is problematic for three elements. First, that these people who are being opposed by the gay rights movement are still likely to stick to those individuals who have been rejected by the gay rights movement. They are more likely to follow those individuals and get away from the gay rights movement. Second analysis is that they won't want to go to the negative side of the gay rights movement when they're anti-attractiveness and we're pro-ugliness. It is unlikely these people are going to support them in that crowd. And the final thing is that they're not going to feel that they want to support the gay rights movement when they're opposing the very thing they like in their heart. We don't see these people are going to generate the trust. We will look at the third, yes.
Okay, are you supporting the rights movement because gay people are handsome?
No, I want you to provide, when you're saying that you must do it in another way it means, how are you going to likely achieve that in your paradigm? That is your burden of proof when you're opposing those kind of stereotypes, when we are continuously telling you, this is a beneficial choice for the gay rights movement. No, thank you. Finally, how this harms the people within the gay community in and of itself. We say to the public that one role model for these people will be a quote. So what happens to these individuals is that now they're being told that you're not gay because that's not what they're about. Because that's the kind of image, or that's the kind of narrative they are still only able to send in their side. Because it's fundamentally impossible to draw the line of opposing a stereotype and opposing what is in that stereotype. So what happens is that, for example, in the case of adolescents, their genes will be crushed. They don't have what to do. And the most important thing is that these kind of narratives, there's surrounding narratives that you have to be attractive and existing. Now they're going to be caught between those two narratives that you have to be attractive, and if you're to be gay, you must not be attractive. Those are the kind of places where it's taught. Now there's a conflict within itself, and we think that they're rather following. And finally, they lose effect to the gay rights movement. Because ultimately, these kind of figureheads are gaining support, and the gay rights movement is against these kind of people. Why would they want to support these kind of unfavorable views? Finally, contrary analysis, why our side is rather better. On the support for gay rights movement, two analyses. First, we can buy in and support the surrounding people. Because the people are coming from these stereotypes, coming from the initial phase that they look handsome, and then the acceptance of gay follows. And we think this is rather better, because these people are liking as an individual, is more likely to like those ideas of gayness existing. And it's easier to crunch in the ideas of gay supportment when they actively like these kind of figureheads. And they can also, these kind of gay figureheads, or gay stereotypes, can prevail the idea of gay acceptance amongst their followers. And it's better often having no figurehead which is accepted by people when they say there's other stereotypes are not accepted. The second analysis is that itself the platform of a lot of populace which was not accepted right now. Because now this unique platform who is not associated with itself with gays are accepted by these kind of stereotypes. So for all these reasons we just stated, we believe that these kind of stereotypes existing is rather beneficial for the gay rights movement to get themselves accepted. Opposite side, the government side failed to tell us how they're going to work their model. I don't think it's possible for them to tell. Thank you very much.
points to analyze this debate. First of all, this kind of narrative is better for the individual gay people to make the situation that the gay people will be able to do what they want to do. Or second of all, what is a narrative, what is the real characterization of narrative, and what kind of context we should accept, we should accept under status quo. First, all you have included in my speech. First of all, narrative is better for the gay individual gay people to make the situation that the gay people will be able to do what they want to do. First of all, the opposition I'm talking about, these kind of narrative, and if we lose or oppose these kind of narrative, they lose that way to make a positive image for the LGBT people because they say that this is only way. However, Mr. Speaker, we think that first of all, we think that this is not only we think that this is not only way in the first place. Where is that so? Because first of all, even in our paradigm, that if we oppose that this narrative does not mean that all representative or LGBT people who will diminish or who will lose, Mr. Speaker. Because even in our paradigm, both characters who are attractive and also the who are not attractive of the LGBT people can coexist in our paradigm. So we think that this opposition argument does not make sense, Mr. Speaker. And also we're talking about that this, if we oppose the narrative, this makes the mitigation of acceptance and will lose the speed. Also, prior, Mr. Speaker, first of all, speed is not always important to deal with, Mr. Speaker, because speed spreading is not always good, Mr. Speaker, because speed spreading, because my partner already told you, slower spreading or slower mutual understanding is necessary to truly consider about the mutual understanding to begin with, Mr. Speaker. So we think the speed is not always good to begin with, Mr. Speaker. Because, and also, Mr. Speaker, if to some extent the speed will lose, we think that in our paradigm we can make that positive image, or we can make recognition toward these kind of LGBT people. Because even in our paradigm, the people can, for example, people can see the speech from the LGBT people who are not attractive, and also we can provide other ways to spread the image of the LGBT people, even if this changing is slow, Mr. Speaker. And also, Mr. Speaker, they say that this is only way, so they say that this narrative is important, is necessary. However, Mr. Speaker, we think that people support the LGBT people who want to support the LGBT people because of the coup. Why this kind of character of supporter is truly necessary for this movement, Mr. Speaker? Because these supporters who want to support the LGBT people because of the they are good or because they are attractive, if they see that they're not attractive LGBT people, or if they encounter this kind of situation, they will change the view of the gay people and know the other kind, if they know or encounter other kind of gay, Mr. Speaker. So we see that the supporter of LGBT people who want to support the LGBT because they think that LGBT people is cool or attractive, we think that this kind of supporter is not fundamentally necessary for the LGBT movement to begin with, Mr. Speaker. No, thank you. And also, Mr. Speaker, they say that this is only way. However, Mr. Speaker, we think that this is not true in the first place. And because the assumption of the opposition side is all supporters all supporters want to support the gay people because of their good. However, Mr. Speaker, we think that this is completely not true in the first place because the supporters who want to support the LGBT movement have a various incentives to support the LGBT movement to begin with, Mr. Speaker. For example, they have an incentive because that their friends of LGBT people is suffering under the status quo, and they see the real situation for the real offensive situation for LGBT people and so forth. And also we see for example, debaters support the gay people because, however, Mr. Speaker, it is not because they are too attractive or so forth. We see that this kind of statement is completely offensive for the supporters to begin with, Mr. Speaker. Yes, please.
So you said you're going to allow other kind of stereotypes to exist. You said the gay rights movement is allowing this kind of stereotype to exist. In that sense, how are you supporting the motion when you said you're going to campaign against these kind of things?
We are saying that we as an LGBT movement want to take a stance as an inclusive stance for the both kind of character. For example, after taking this proposal, we want to change the representative people of the LGBT people to not attractive people, and also we want to make the movie, for example, make the movie of the interview make the interview of the LGBT people who are attractive, Mr. Speaker. We think that we want to hire the both character which is not attractive and attractive. And second of all, what is the true character of narrative to begin with, Mr. Speaker. They say that under the status quo there is many kinds of narrative, so this is okay. However, Mr. Speaker, we see that this is not true in the first place. Because the stereotype is made by the majority, because stereotype is made because the majority misunderstanding to same side of the same narrative or topic. So we see the stereotype that poor agree and poor approve is not incompatible to begin with, Mr. Speaker. So we think that many stereotypes exist is not immediate experience. That's why we didn't run.
Thank you, Dr. Wood. Next of all, Dr. Susume, here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we don't want to live in a world in which opposing something that currently has marginal effects causes detrimental harms to a movement that is gaining momentum and are furthermore a safe haven for gay kids who need help and can't achieve justice for issues regarding gay rights. The only thing that we saw from the government side was that they said we can promote ugly gay people. That was their only model. They did not directly support the motion, which is actually supported in the status quo. You already see people on TV. We can clearly see that these not attractive people are supported, right? This is unlike what the government side said. Their side was not mutually exclusive. We already have really famous people like Elton John who are not attractive but are really famous, and people know that they're gay. These people exist, and we want to say that gay people do not only exist on TV. Your neighbor could be gay. Your best friend could be gay. My best friend is gay, and he is very proud to say that he supports this kind of stereotype. We know that not all gay people are attractive. We say that just because a stereotype exists, that does not mean that everyone thinks a certain way. Just because a stereotype about feminists exists does not mean that everyone thinks that feminists are uncool or feminists are cool. We think that we saw a major contradiction for them to say that the gay rights movement currently has support. And then they say that no one actually likes ugly gay people, so they aren't supported. We think that, first of all, they have to engage on that contradiction, and furthermore, we think that their whole case is standing on an unrealistic premise. Three things that I'm going to do in my speech today. First of all, why their side doesn't achieve any benefits. Second of all, which side is comparatively better for gay people. And thirdly, the responsibility and the role of the gay rights movement if I have time. But for that, few rebuttals to the side. So the Deputy Prime Minister first off said that Hollywood stars coming out that are hot will make people think that all gay people are hot. What kind of mechanism is this, right? To say that you support, like, diverse gay people in the status quo, right? To say that you support a diverse amount of people that are gay means that you're supporting the status quo. Because people know that there are different kinds of people, different kinds of gay people. Because there are Hollywood stars that aren't attractive. There are people around you that aren't attractive but happen to be gay. We say that a stereotype existing does not mean that it has a dominance over other images and ideas about gay people. We agree that we should be more accepting, but you can only achieve this acceptance by having gateways to the society to have a positive image of gays. And the second two already substantiated to how, like, this positive stereotype can allow people to think that gay people are cool and gay people can be, like, something to support. The Prime Minister said, like, it's not true acceptance. We already told you that even if it's not true acceptance, it is a form of acceptance, and it's better than nothing, right? We say that people who they want to protect are like ugly gay people, and we happen to think that they're already accepted now if we listen to their underlying premise. And then they said that the feminist movement respects individual choice. We think that's not mutually exclusive. We think that we're the ones on our side that respect the choices of individuals by creating more positive stereotypes that lead to understanding of individual gay people. We think that this acts as a gateway for people to understand what it is like for gay people to be. Because these people, like celebrities and like Instagram boys that are really popular right now, are talking about their personal experiences about being gay, that they were bullied in elementary school, that they want to be able to marry a guy. We think that these people can act as a gateway, and even if it is a stereotype, we think that's a positive one. Then they said that all people think are gay, that all gay people are attractive. We have rebutted this several times, and we think that this is simply an oversimplification on how these celebrities became famous and how stereotypes exist on our side, right? We think that it's important to bend the reality to when people are rational enough that they understand the wide variety of gay people, and that being gay is a preference, right? It's not the way you decide to all of a sudden be. People know that, and people know that as a fact. We think that stereotypes are not narratives, and we need to make a distinction. So, moving on to my first substantive, the failures of the government. They fail to prove, first of all, that is the emerging stereotype really so binding, prevailing, and detrimental to gay people? Because those are the people that we need to protect today. When we already proved to you that stereotypes are not necessarily harmful, when they are a wide variety of them existing, and acting as a choice to self-identify and opt out of that. You have the choice to opt out of the stereotype. You do not have to bind within that, and you also do not have to have that stereotype, right? You sit down. It's easier to understand gay rights as a platform. You already substantiated. B, you hinder the movement of the gay rights movement and its ability to create positive change for gay people. And we must stress that the gay rights movement is the only vehicle to achieve the kind of rights that they're pushing for. When you create this narrative that the gay rights movement is opposing diversity and that it's opposing these choices that people want to make, then that you guys are the ones that are hindering their ability to create choices. Because these stereotypes are actually created by people wanting to be celebrities and wanting to create this narrative that gay people can be cool, that gay people can be attractive. You're inexplicably hindering those people's choices as well. We think that creates an antipathy towards that movement. No. Their model, secondly, creates make the world a better. Why their model will not make the world a better place for the gay people. Under status quo, many gay kids like cool, awesome, handsome gay people on TV. My best friend, who's gay and who is not he does not look very attractive, but he likes these kinds of people. And thinks it's fine that some people think that gay people are hot. He thinks that's a good thing, right? We think that it's not binding, because you stereotype that feminists are cool. It's not binding to think that I have to be cool like Emma Watson. And B, it feels good to see straight people accepting people that are gay as a choice, even if it's superficial and they are and if you're unattractive. All they told you is that stereotypes are bad. They never told you why was the role of the gay rights movement to oppose it. Yes.
So there are people who only support the gay rights movement just because there is some handsome guy and nothing else. Why are those kinds of people even affected by the other kinds of stereotypes that actually...
Because at the point in which you say that you're supporting gay rights movements, that means that you're supporting the rights of all gay people. Even if your gateway to supporting that movement is through some guy that was in pentatonics and was really hot, we think that's a good thing because now you think that all gay people should have rights, and that is actually adding to the momentum of the gay rights movement. That is not something that you need to oppose. Second of all, why there's not definition of benefits? A, with unrealistic, we think B is important to say, we can say that in the status quo, gay, ugly people are not accepted, and then throwing them in a situation, which is their model, that they have to be proud of themselves and talk about being gay, right? If that is their premise, that is really harmful, and that's not a reason to sacrifice those people. They will be sacrificed, plus does not do anything to mitigate this stereotype. Just create harmful stereotypes that gay people should be ashamed of themselves for being, like, unhappy or whatever. They said that, like, the stereotype isn't, we want to stress that the stereotype is not necessarily devastatingly harmful. They need to prove why this is so harmful to individuals, even at the cost of mitigating the gay rights movement, which is so effective and which has so much strength. We're very proud to focus on.
Thank you, Susume. Next of all, Susume, watch it here.
As side government side said, this motion is not only about the mere principle of the gay rights movement. Even on that point, we extended the point that gay rights movement should fundamentally not oppose anyone within their identity because it's crushing identity with someone they perceive deep. Well, as the government side said, another burden they had to have in their side was that how they further the cause for the gay people, considering the context they told. We believe ultimately at the end of the debate, they never told us how in their paradigm, when they cut down their very supportive, which are so vocal like which are being supportive of that, how will still gain that trust? When we don't hear those kind of things, we don't see any reason to vote for side government. Three things I want to do with much. So first, let's analyze what government side was actually doing. Were they really supporting the motion? They said that they're, because they never told us how they're going to actively oppose the campaign, which was literally mentioned in the motion that they're going to be actively going to fight against these kind of narrative stereotypes existing. But furthermore, they tried to explain it, that they're saying they're just trying to do this in an inclusive manner. But it never told us how the people is going to make a differentiation. Because we have questioned them. People are not that complex in being able to understand academic ideas in such a perspective. We rather say, when these kind of ugly comedians, even if they're not saying explicitly they're against these kind of things in TV, when they actively say that being gay is not only being about handedness, we've told you that people perceive it as a confrontational act, and people are going to perceive it in a way that these people are still opposing these kind of things. So we fundamentally do not see any logical difference in those two scenarios when they're trying to being wishy-washy and trying to take a soft stance. The second thing, which was concluded in this debate, was that what was the narrative? We have consistently told you that there's a strong difference between a stereotype and a binding stereotype. And we have told you through the consequences or the status quo that when there's other comedians or other kind of politics existing in the theater, or when there's logic behind the stereotype, that it's only binding when there's a whole plethora of people supporting. And considering the motion when they still say that there's something emerging, it's very illogical for side government to assume that these kind of narratives, or these kind of stereotypes are extremely binding to the sense there are other people not existing. But even if it were extremely binding to the extent, they still have failed to answer to our point of information. If that kind of narrative is so binding, how are they going to get support in any other kind of sense? When people do not like gay people, just if they're not handsome, they never told us how they can generate the support. That's another failure coming from one side of the government. Now let's dissect government's case. What they ultimately wanted to do was they wanted to support the ugly gay people, sorry for the lack of better language, in their parents. The first question we have to subject their case is, how are they actually going to achieve that model? Because when they conspicuously fail to tell us how this scenario is going to work, we have continuously told you that mere acting of opposition, or that kind of perception amongst the people, is rather going to degenerate the people's support to this kind of movement, and rather not leading to a thing. We don't think that kind of support is going to be accepted. When they have continuously told you, these people are not being accepted right now, why would they shoving these comedians in their face change anything for the sake of acceptance? Then they think, well, They said they don't need only handsome support without telling us why. Because we told you that this kind of gay rights movement needs to be kind of support based. When they sacrifice their own support base, how do they generate support? When you actively cut down your support base, why will still people want to fight for your cause? This is on the contrary, what opposition side has provided in this speech. Because we told you that even if we consider government's context, it is rather beneficial for ourselves to not cut down our supporting base. Because that's the only frame of window the gay rights movement can actually work on the society. Yes, those supporters might only believe for the cause that because they like these handsome people. But there's a strong line of difference, as we have clarified from our side, that those kind of support, even if it wasn't the intent the gay rights movement was, generates the support what the gay rights movement needs. It makes the social balance, it makes the social numbers, where they can pressure those kind of things and achieve those kind of changes. And we see it's rather beneficial to achieve those kind of changes. So ultimately in this debate, we have told you from side opposition, if you do not change these kind of things, it is rather beneficial for the gay people's identity, because we're not crushing one's identity just because of the fact for the benefit of the gay rights movement. And we have told you how beneficial it is for the sake of the gay rights movement. Government side never told you how it's realistic. Will we vote for the glimpse of a chance in the government, or will we vote for the realistic scenario of homosexuality? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Reply. Actually, like all on here.
So they never ever answered the crucial question in this debate. One, so we are talking about specific characters, those who support gay movement only because they are handsome, right? So whether the other side never ever answered the question whether those characters who just support gay people because they are handsome, those people are really necessary in this gay rights movement. Second of all, why we can sacrifice certain characters for whole movements, especially for whole movements promotion, especially in this context where increasing support for gay rights movement. We clearly analyze this context, they never ever, right? And also, before moving to flashpoint, some clarification. First of all, they put us a burden that we have to exclude these stereotypes completely from the movement. And Mr. Speaker, the motion doesn't say that we have to exclude this. We oppose. It is the matter of extent, right? So we, to some extent, oppose this stereotype. We have to balance these stereotypes with another stereotypes, another type of narrative that there are a variety of gay people, right? So we clearly told you we can have comedians and we can have actors and we can have both people to represent gay rights movement, right? So it is a matter of extent to how to oppose the motion. So let me move on to my questions. First of all, whether or not stereotypes harmful for those who are unattractive, and second of all, whether or not stereotypes lead to the support of gay people. Third of all, what happens in our problem. The other side told you that that gay rights movement will decrease. However, we didn't say that. We believe it is rather promoted. First of all, stereotypes harmful or not. The other side told you there are a lot of stereotypes in the society, so we don't have to oppose this kind of stereotypes because stereotypes is inside individuals. One, we believe that there are a type of stereotypes. However, Mr. Speaker, as a nature of stereotypes, if stereotypes is strengthened and promoted by the mass consumption such as mass media or culture, something like that, right? So even if individuals have stereotypes, these stereotypes expand as social media emphasize and escalates it, right? So we can assume that a lot of people have certain stereotypes. Second, so stereotypes, the nature of stereotypes is that, if you believe gay people is handsome, you exclude certain people who don't fit in these stereotypes, right? So for those people who blindly believe gay men are all handsome, for those people are outside of their support, right? So they never ever prove that how those characters who support gay people just because they're handsome will apply this support to unattractive people also. They just say that it is a gateway to start a support, and they suddenly support all gay people, right? They never ever provided any steps to how they accept unattractive people as well. On the other hand, we clearly told you how they do not support unattractive people because they compromise their disgusting feeling with the general belief that attractiveness is good. So if it is not accepted, it is not applicable to this general acceptance, they do not support gay people. We clearly provide proofs that stereotypes is harmful. So third crash by paradigm. So they say that if gay people are not handsome, they starting supporting gay people will decrease. Hypermixed speaker, their big speaker clearly told you she supports gay movement because her best friend is gay. There are a lot of these kind of people who have true understanding who have similarity, who have the sympathy or empathy to the gay people and support gay people just because they are handsome, right? So we can still have those people. We have to promote this kind of people who think gay people are similar or gay people are same as us. So that is why it is slow. We have to promote this kind of movement. That's why we propose this motion. Thank you.
Thank you for your cooperation. Pass the floor to whatever, and please go outside. 持ってたら、